Hey everybody, welcome to Affirm tonight. It's the 21st of April. Before we get to the main topic tonight, I want you to watch a quick little advertisement from our Vacation Bible School coordinator, Elisa Brown. So just watch her video real quick and then I'll be right back.
Hello Affirm students, my name is Elisa Brown and I'm the VBS director here at St. John's. I'm here today in this video message to invite you to become a member of our awesome Rocky Railway VBS team this summer. I'm guessing that many of you attended VBS when you were younger. If you didn't, VBS, or Vacation Bible School, is a great way for kids to learn about Jesus while participating in some really fun activities at church, like games and crafts, while also making some new friends. Those of you who went to VBS, you might remember your crew leaders. Those are those people that took you around to all the different activities. This summer, you could have the chance to be one of those leaders for a group of smaller kids at our church and help them have fun learning about Jesus. If this sounds good to you, here's some details for you. Our VBS will take place June 14th through the 17th from 9 to 12 in the morning. Middle schoolers can sign up to be assistant crew leaders. You'll be paired with a high school student and you'll lead a crew of 4 to 5 younger kids around to the different activities at VBS. You can sign up at sjlcl.org. I'll say that one more time. You can sign up at sjlcl.org and just follow the links for Vacation Bible School. Once you've signed up, there will be an orientation with more info in early June. If you have any other questions, email me at elisa@sjlcl.org or text me at 952-221-4849. Thanks for listening, and I hope to see you this summer. Bye.
Hey, St. John's Affirm. I'm going to tell you why I've got all this stuff on here in just a little bit, but let me just say this first tonight. I'll take this off in a second so you can hear things even better. But let me just say that I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're on Zoom together tonight. I know that a ton of kids are out and are quarantined, and we just can't be in church. So anyway, I'm bringing you right here into the sanctuary. I'm kind of setting the stage because this is where we would be tonight if we were here at church. And I'm just really happy that we can be together. Okay, now I'm going to take this mask off. This is my Minnesota United mask. And I'm going to tell you about that in just a second and all this stuff. But here's what we're going to do tonight. Tonight, the topic is how to be a church member, and then : having a devotional life. Okay? Now, I know that probably sounds boring to you, but I'm just going to explain it because I think it's going to become a lot clearer to you what the deal is. So, why do I have all this stuff on? I had my Minnesota Loons mask on. I've got my Minnesota Loons scarf that I wear when I go to games or when I watch them on TV. Of course, I got my Vikings jersey on. Harrison Smith, one of the Smith guys. And then I've got my Minnesota Twins hat, which I actually got at a game that they were also celebrating the Minnesota Gophers. Okay, so I've got almost all of the state's colors on. I don't have the Minnesota Wild. I have a hat, but then I would have to not have the Twins and the Gophers hat on too. Anyway, here's the deal. I am a big sports fan, as you know. Love all these teams. I'm actually even a season ticket holder for the Loons. My son Petter and I have season tickets to the Loons, and of course we bought them right when the pandemic started. We were just even on the phone together talking about where we were going to park on the very opening day of the season a year ago, and they canceled. And that was when we canceled church as well. So anyway, I have the colors on. I get excited about all these teams. I love them. I study up on the Twins, the Gophers, the Vikings, the Loons, the Wild. I dig into the statistics. I get to know everything I can so that I can really enjoy following the team and watching the game. I'm a devoted fan. What was our topic for tonight? Let's see. Having a devotional life. Well, maybe this has something to do with being a devoted fan of Jesus. Huh? Yes. But what do? I love getting into uniform. I love getting into the feel of a game before the game so I can just totally immerse myself in it and just enjoy it as much as possible. That's what a devoted fan does. A devoted fan becomes almost like a mini expert on what they are a fan of, because it makes it that much more enjoyable. And you know more and more and more and more about the game, the team, the players, the rules, and all that stuff. And that's what brings out the joy more and more of being a devoted fan. Okay, so now let me switch gears. Okay, so now I tried to put myself back together, and instead of having my team's jerseys and paraphernalia on, I put on my church jersey, my church paraphernalia. I just put on my St. John's Johnny's shirt. And you know, by the way, Jeff Larson, one of these small group guides, is the one who helped bring this about. So Jeff, 1,000 times thank you to you. You just serve the church in so many good ways. But I put my Johnny's shirt on. Here's my new uniform as a Christian, as a Lutheran, as a child of God, as a follower of Christ, as a devoted fan of Jesus, as a devoted fan of God. So here's what I want to tell you tonight. You, as a member of a church, should have a devotional life, a part of your life in which you devote your fanship, your following of Jesus to Jesus. It's part of what's needed. It's no more complicated than what we do and the time we devote to our favorite teams. Lakeville South, Lakeville North, the Vikes, whatever. We devote all kinds of time and all kinds of energy and all kinds of joy to that. And the best thing in life, even better than those things, is God. And we should want to devote time and energy and joy to our fanship of Jesus, our following of Jesus. We should have a devotional life. There should be something we do that centers us, that takes us deeper and deeper into knowing more and more about this thing, this faith thing that we love, and particularly with God, who we know loves us also. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to suggest a couple of things. I'm going to read a Bible passage, and I'm going to tell you a quick story. Here's the Bible passage. It's one of my favorites. It comes from Ephesians. It would be a great confirmation verse for you down the line. It's Ephesians 4:14 and 15. So let me read them. We must no longer be children, tossed to and fro and blown about by every wind of doctrine, by people's trickery, by their craftiness in deceitful scheming. But speaking the truth in love, we must grow up in every way into Him who is our head, into Christ. We must grow up in every way into Him who is our head, into Christ. I think that has to do with devotion. It has to do with the time and energy that we set aside and spend to grow up into Jesus and to grow deeper and deeper and deeper into our faith and into realizing how good it is. It's a lifetime gift. God gives us faith for a lifetime. So here's the suggestion. Here are a couple suggestions. I have this book, Jesus Calling, on my bookshelf. It's on my desk. I use it every single day. It's a devotion. It's a devotional. This is one way that I devote my fanship toward Jesus, toward God. And there's a small devotion. It takes 2 minutes, less than that even. One for every single day on the page. This is something that I want you to do. And this is something that I think you should really want to do for yourself as well. It's so simple. You're going to get one of these when you graduate from high school. We're going to give you one as a gift from the church. But it's a starting point right now to start thinking about what you can do to devote yourself to Jesus, to spend a little time separating yourself out and coming to God and telling him how much you love him and want to follow him and how good he's been to you. I'm going to suggest some other devotional possibilities in the discussion guide tonight. So look at those when you go through them with your guide and your small group, okay? I'll put the other suggestions in there. But what I really want to suggest is that you think right now about mapping out some time for yourself. And that then takes me to the story, okay? I had a guy in my church in Brainerd, First Lutheran, and he would not be sad if I was telling you this story, by the way. In fact, he would want me to tell you this. But he was in our Friday morning men's group that we had there at that church, just like we have a Tuesday morning men's group here, okay? And he came every single Friday. We had a Bible study for an hour. We had breakfast together, and we prayed together, a group of about 15 guys. It was just wonderful, just like we have here at St. John's, the Tuesday morning quarterbacks. And one morning he came and he said, guys, I just have to tell you something. He said, I want to tell you that I have really felt in the last couple of years, especially distant from God. He said, I haven't been spending nearly the time that I used to spend on just getting up and reading the Bible a little bit every day and praying to God and starting my day that way. He said, I used to do that religiously. And he said, I've gotten away from it, and I can tell my life is emptier. I'm feeling less and less connected to the right things. So he said, here's what I did. I asked my wife if she would allow me to build a little home altar, like a little table, and stick it in the corner of the living room in our house. In fact, you've maybe heard this story before because I told it once in a sermon a few years ago. So anyway, he said, I told her it would be good, it would not be in the way, I would do it so that it looked really nice and everything, and I'm going to use some candles, I'm going to put my Bible on there, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I finally talked her into it. She said, okay, I'll let you do it. And so he got to set about building this little home altar, put it in the corner in his living room, and he said, here's what I did. I made a commitment to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, because I had to be to work by, 7 o'clock or whatever, 7:30. And I go down to the living room, I light the 2 candles on the altar, I open my Bible, I read just a little bit of scripture, because that's what Martin Luther said. Don't read too much, just read a little. I let it sink in, I think about it, see how it changes my life and gives me some guidance, and then he said, I pray. And I just sit in the dark, except for the 2 candles. He said, I've been doing that now for about a month. And he said, guys, you can't know the difference that has made in my life. And that was it. That was the story. But he clearly had been changed by spending this time having a devotional life, devoting his fanship to Jesus, his greatest leader. And he became a deeper and deeper fan, a follower of Jesus too. And he was growing up more and more into Jesus, who is our head. Okay? It's doing exactly what the Bible asks us to do. So the first week we talked about giving. The second week we talked about being part of a community. Today we're talking about setting out some time in your life to have a devotional life. To be a devoted follower, a fan in all the best ways of Jesus. And to put on the garments of Christ, the joy of our church. Being part of a good church that helps you grow in your faith. All right, everybody, we're having some fun tonight. I want you guys to know that faith is a really joyful thing. Faith is not drudgery. Being part of a church is not legalism. It's not having to do this, and this, or else. No, if that's what church is for people, then the message is being given wrongly. Church is about joy. It's about having a faith and a life that matters and that is deeper than anything else. And it's about having friends in faith that you're a part of and can be in contact with all the time. So take this tonight, take it to your small group, have some good time for discussion and talk, and then pray together and let each other know how much you appreciate one another. Okay, guys, that's it for tonight. I'll see you next week for our last session of Affirm. Take care. God loves you, and so do I. PA.